Welcome to the FFP episode 42, Saturday, April 11th, 2009.
Talking to Mr. Jason Damian, and he's got a site called influencefilms.com, and of course he's a fan filmmaker. He's made the Flash crossover, and he's also coming out with a new one called Mortal Kombat. Is that the Tobias Diamond?
The Tobias Diamond.
Tobias Diamond, okay, and which he teamed up with Mr. Dave Noble, a friend of the show, to do that. So let's start with your fanboy ways and how you decided to get into the world of fan film.
Sure. Well, my background is actually in music. I made 2 independent CDs and had 2 music videos there on TV on some music specials, and that was a huge deal to me. So forming Influence Films just was this natural progression from music to music videos to now directing, and I've always loved comic books. I'm a huge comic book geek, and so it just seemed natural to make fan films, and the Flash was always a favorite character of mine. I learned a lot from being involved in music to music videos, so yeah, it was just kind of a natural progression. It was quite organic to just direct, and I love working with actors, so I'm so thankful that everyone's helped out so far, and even though it may be like I might be the only sole constant member of Influence Films at times, I'm just so thankful for everyone that we've met up with and been able to work with so far.
Why the Flash to start with? Except you're a big fan.
Right. The Flash is a great character. You know, I feel like I've always related to both incarnations of the Flash, Barry and Wally. I loved the comic books that dealt with Wally's origins. Born to Run is great. It's probably my all-time favorite comic book. I thought it would be fun to take some of the parts of that story and like introduce it to a whole new audience. And, I wanted to have Amanda come in and play Harley because, in my opinion, she's simply the best at it. So I sat down with my friends, Jason Jackson and Ryan Brandt, and we just tried to develop a story that made both of those things possible. And I thought it'd be a lot of fun filming it and making the project because I think really that's the key. I think as a director, actor, whatever, you have to really want to embrace the story and the character and make it your own. You've got to be a fan, I think, of the characters to really do it right.
Absolutely.
Exactly. That's the best part of our credo here, so that speaks for me as well. I actually wanted to ask you, in fact, on the issue of Amanda, was it Geisel? How did you pronounce the last name?
Geisel, yeah.
Where did you meet Amanda? Did you meet her maybe through cons or even from the internet, or because she's really, really good?
Yeah, that's a great question, by the way.
I was curious where you discovered her.
Sure. Me and some of my friends, we were searching on YouTube just one day, just kind of looking at different fan films. We knew we were doing the Flash, and we just kind of wanted to see if actually there were any Flash fan films on YouTube or anywhere. And I know the Blinky Productions did one, which was really
cool. There's only a couple. Yeah, Chris did one, and I think there's one that was really, really bad. It wasn't even like it didn't even have like Flash for the title. It was just so terrible. But
right.
Not many.
I saw one that was like a guy in a red hood, and he had like taped on like yellow ears to his.
Oh man!
I was just like, no.
Yikes!
Yeah, so I was looking. We were looking at fan films, and we saw. Of course, we started with Batman after we didn't find any of the Flash, and there were just tons of Batman fan films. And Amanda had this performance on her YouTube, which was Harley, and it was at I think it was at like a Comic-Con performance. She was doing some kind of a performance, and she sang the song that she sang in the short film Flash crossover, Somewhere Bat Free, which is a remake, if you will, of Somewhere That's Green. Something I'm sure everyone knows.
Right.
So when I saw that, I wrote her and we corresponded for a while, and I eventually said, well, we'd really love to have you come and do this, and she was really thrilled to do it, and she was amazing to work with, and there's few people that you can say they're as nice and friendly as they are talented, and she's both. So.
That has to be a first as far as fan film is concerned, a song number, right, in the middle of a fan film.
I was going to say, this is one of the extremely rare cases. All of a sudden, just something stops.
Me, his committed wife, Joker Jr. put down that knife. Little Arlene sews little bang flags. Joker still dabbles in heist and homicide, but he spends his nights with me in the left gas-scented air, somewhere bat free. Between his daily mayhem and our bedtime, 2 or 3, make death threats to Carrot Top, and the only one tying my puddin' up is little old me. A picture from America's Most Wanted on TV. Far from masked men, he'll treat me right then, somewhere that
It's like Bollywood is invading fan films
like a
now.
show tune in the middle of it. Like, I remember.
Yeah, it was something. I mean, because of my music background, we kind of wanted to do it, but we wanted to make sure that it would fit in the story, and we were really thrilled with the way it kind of worked out. And everyone that's seen it, in the back of my mind, I was kind of afraid, like, oh, is this going to distract from the story? Are they going to say that out of Harley's character? But I haven't really gotten that yet, so I'm really glad.
Anything goes with Harley. She's so loopy, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
she could break into song. Won't be questioned.
And it's weird because I know her, and it's like when she transforms, she puts on that costume, she really does transform. It's really neat to, one thing to see it on film, but another to see it actually happen.
Yeah, I can imagine. She does a great job. The costume looks great. Her imitation is just up there with the best of them, I would say. I'm sure Chris would agree.
Mm-hmm. Yep, right up there.
So we even got a guy in the film who imitates Mark Hamill's Joker impersonation.
Oh, right.
Yeah, who I thought originally, I cut right in real quick, that it was a Joker from the animated episode where Harley kidnaps the Batman, but I was mistaken.
Yeah, it's the Mark Hamill Joker there.
That's Michael Valentine. It was funny, after we did the shoot, we found, actually it was before, right after we had arranged Amanda to come in and do it, we really wanted to have the Joker in there in some form, and it was so late into pre-production that we didn't really have time to cast someone else. But we got back on YouTube, and sure enough, there was Michael Valentine. He has this like video up. You can see it's really great. He does a whole like 5-minute thing of the Joker, just all these lines, and it sounds really great. And so I wrote him, and he responded, and he was really thrilled. And then him and Amanda now correspond, and it's fun because kind of like in some parallel universe, Joker and Harley are together.
That's weird. Yeah, it's weird in a way.
But yeah, we actually, and I wasn't going to say anything, but we actually just recently worked with Amanda on a second thing. We did Tim Rowe, who was in the Flash crossover, as one of the thugs, and he's also in our upcoming Mortal Kombat project. He does a dead-on impression of Pee Wee Herman, and so he has this idea, and everyone that's heard the idea is really excited. Harley Quinn going on a blind date with Pee Wee Herman.
Oh, jeez, that should be... Is that the shorter gentleman that's in the Flash film?
Yeah, he's one of the two thugs. He's the white one, obviously.
Okay.
You didn't want to have a black Pee Wee Herman.
You could have had him as the king of cartoons, though. You know?
But, so that'll be coming out hopefully in the middle of May sometime. We're doing some editing on that. It was a quick shoot, and David Noble helped out a lot with that too. So,
Oh, that's cool.
he was there.
He's a good guy.
We had a script already written, me and Ryan Brandt, my friend, but Dave was there and he was just throwing out all these great ideas. So it was really helpful. Definitely.
Speaking of Mr. Noble, how did you actually get in contact with Noble? Are you all friends with Mike, or David? I'm sorry,
Bill.
What's his name? Hank.
He actually he sent me an email a while back right after he saw the Flash crossover, saying he'd be in Kansas until this summer and he'd love to help out any way possible because he loved what we were doing. And it was weird because at the time when he wrote, he left his phone number. He's like, "Oh, give me a call and we'll talk about stuff because I'd love to help you guys out." And we just decided, like the day before, that we were going to do the Mortal Kombat thing. We were just planning out costumes, me talking it out, seeing like what locations we could use. And so when he called, I hated it because I kind of sounded like a flake. I was like, "Well, we're going to do this Mortal Kombat thing. I don't know when, and it's going to happen." And it just kind of sense, that he's thinking, "Well, this isn't going to happen." But it really, we pulled it together, and he was a big help. He played, he did in the Mortal Kombat project, he not only has an acting role as, I'm not familiar with Army terms, so I'm just going to say Sonya Blade's boss, and someone that's more familiar with Army technical job titles can fill you in on that later, but he plays that, and then he also dressed down in the Scorpion outfit and did all of the stunts and any acting that was, anytime you see Scorpion on screen in the Mortal Kombat project, it's Dave, and believe it or not, he couldn't see, anytime you see him on screen, he couldn't see what he was doing. There's even, in the costume, if you've seen photos of it on the website, there's they're eyeballs, no pun intended, but they're actual Christmas bulbs that are his eyes, and they're bright gold, so he couldn't see out of them. So he did just rocking in 7 languages awesome for not being able to see and just everything. When the camera was rolling, you'd hear the Sharon Wright, who played Sonya, who did a fantastic job. You'd hear her yelling and being real vicious to him, but then maybe part of he'd trip or something, and she'd be like, "Oh wait," and she'd get real sweet, and so it's pretty fun.
So can you tell us about the whole plot of the Flash crossover, how it came to be, what you might have based it on, or if it was original work?
Right. We took a lot of. We even mentioned this in the credits of the long form edit of it that you can see on our website. We took a lot of Born to Run, and I just really wanted to reintroduce that story to a new audience because I know there's so many people that just don't read comic books, and it's frustrating because there's a lot of great content. Even if you take out the superhero aspect of it, it's just it helps a lot of. I know friends of mine who are teenagers and they read comic books now, and they say that helps through that awkward phase of trying to find their own identity, and that's what I know for me was true as well, especially with Born to Run, that storyline of Wally West just kind of figuring out his own self and just trying to figure out his own, where he should be in the world, and we really wanted to capture that, and then, like we were talking about earlier, wanted to bring in Harley Quinn's character, and it always seems like she had a friend on screen, be it the Joker or Poison Ivy, so we brought in Talia's character, which was really cool because there weren't, at least to my knowledge, many fan films that used that character.
I found that was an interesting choice. Is it because of just the actress look that you got? Just because the actress, you said, okay, there's Talia. That's who it will be.
Well, we knew that ideally we wanted Poison Ivy, but there just wasn't, we couldn't find a redhead actress, and we didn't want to do a wig thing. We wanted to look real if we were going to go that route, and we just couldn't find someone who really looked the part, and then we'll have to think of someone else. And then that same day, we were, my friend Jason was like, well, how about Talia? And sure enough, then it was a week later, Rachel, she got the part, and it looked right too. A lot of people that have seen the short film, they say, gosh, that girl in purple, that's Talia. She sure is wicked. So.
Now, where do you find all these good-looking women, and what are their phone numbers?
Well, they just, they just call me because they just love to be around me.
Oh, awesome.
Actually, some of them we auditioned. We post that on Craigslist and Scribd and some other websites. And then there's some modeling agencies too. it's really a resources thing as far as fan films. I'm sure you guys have heard 1,000 times that
absolutely.
have certain parameters. That's a bittersweet thing. It helps you as a filmmaker, I know, to work within that and not just be given free rein to do whatever you want, but at the same time, it is a bit of a challenge.
Well, that's the fun.
Exactly. It's funny because a friend of mine wrote this really amazing script, and he emailed it to me the other day. It was of spirits, and he's like, could we do this? And I read it, and Kevin Bingham, one of the people that works with us, read it too. And I didn't even get through it. It was really long. And Kevin had to write him back and just say, we'd love to do this, but there's just so many things we can't do. We've got him jumping through buildings and breaking all kinds of glass, doing all these incredible stunts that we just can't do because we don't have the money. And it's sad, but at the same time, he said, it's a both and, because he said you can take the story, what works, and you can figure it out, and that's part of the fun, to figure it out and see what you could do. And I think ultimately you'll become more passionate about it, because you have to do that work. You have to figure out, what, as a filmmaker, can I realistically capture, and how can I do it, versus just being everything given to you.
You got to find yourself a good suicidal stuntman.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
that's what you got.
Will is volunteering.
Yes, that'll be me.
He's going to move to Kansas City and be your permanent stuntman.
Yes. Hey man, look at the old Dan Poole. Look what he did.
Right, swinging from buildings.
All to get the shot. He risked his life all to get the shot.
Come on, Jason.
Come on, man.
You need some more danger in your life.
Danger's my middle name.
We're going to throw you out of this moving car to simulate speed. But I noticed you did use kind of some cool blur effects and stuff in there. Was that like an After Effects work, or?
Yeah, that was some After Effects. It was weird because the only criticism that I've really heard as far as things that we shot and not things that we did in post was, it was a movie about the Flash, and he hardly ran except for that one scene, and I was like, oh. But when I really think about that, that kind of hurts me. But I knew that when that happened, that transition happened of him coming out for the first time, I didn't just want him to walk out and look like in a costume. So we played with a lot of After Effects. We tried to add a lot of red tone and make the coloring was already a special effect as is, but we really wanted his red to really stand out and be as bright and bold of a red as we could find, just so it looks as much like a comic book as possible. So.
Plus, this was your maiden voyage, so
yeah,
a lot to learn.
It was a clever way to introduce the effect, though.
Great, thank you. That's really great to hear. It was just there were hours spent, and then what was really frustrating was when we were making it, we were about 90% done in post, and it was set to come out on New Year's Eve, and then the whole project just crashed, and we had to start entirely.
Oh boy.
So, and then I was getting ticked off because we had a trailer on YouTube, and a lot of people were emailing us or writing and saying, "Hey, it's January 1st, it's still not out. What's the problem?" So, but
that's like every fan film that's going to come out, anyways.
I know.
It's like a given.
Soon.
If you know fan films, and especially if you're a new fan filmmaker, and you put a date, me and Will know it's not going to come out that date, and anyone else that knows about fan films.
That's why with the Mortal Kombat project, we're saying early April.
Yeah.
We know it'll be feasible in the first 2 weeks, but we don't know when. So at some point, in some time, in some galaxy, it will come out.
Possibly sometime in the next century.
Hey, I've seen some Batman fan films that are scheduled for 2012, and I'm just I hope WB doesn't pull off fan films before then. But
I think it's going in reverse, actually.
They're rolling with the punches right now. I mean, thanks to Aaron Schoenke and people like him who actually got in touch with Warner Brothers. They got in touch with him with legal threats about the whole thing, and they ended up just kind of come to a mutual agreement where, as long as you don't sell them, as long as you don't start to make stuff better than ours, I'm sure, which I'm sure they'll get a little bit annoyed about.
Which is happening.
What's going on here?
I love, at some point I want to do a Marvel character just because I love how Marvel on YouTube, they put, I know they have Chris's amazing Electra project. I just love that, by the way. they have it on their favorites, and I just think that's the coolest thing alive that they would do that. So.
They must just be doing that because my whole YouTube account was shut down by them.
Really?
Yeah, they contacted YouTube, and YouTube said this had to be over a year ago, so I'm sure they're switching their gears, too. Because I put Marvel Zombies up there. Did you ever see that Marvel Zombies fan film?
Yeah, I liked it, yeah.
So I got a cease and desist from YouTube, and I didn't take it down, and so they took my whole account down.
You think they'd let it happen? Because, I mean, Marvel fan films are few and far between.
Yeah.
It's just not a way of, marketing the characters without making the money, but, giving them some free exposure,
Right.
Like, maybe you didn't know about Doctor Strange, but you saw Doctor Strange fan film, and you loved it. You know what I mean? Like,
right, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But, no, we have to have every single dime.
See, how could they can't police that, so I can see why it's turning. What are they going to do? What are they supposed to say? No, you can't do that, because people are going to do it anyways.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the fan filmmakers, too. I mean, I know for me personally, that's kind of in the back of my mind. Every time I upload something, I'm like, I hope it doesn't get taken down. But
with torrents and broadband, and they can't do anything about it. There's no way they can police
one dude to tape it, and then you're
set. Exactly.
That's it.
I know when I first saw Grayson, South Hero, I loved that, and I loved Catwoman Resolution that Amber from Ale and Talkies she did. And I thought those were just amazing, and I'm really glad that those are still up there. So that's a bummer that one got taken down.
And me and Amber have been longtime friends ever since her first Catwoman movie. We've been corresponding, via emails and MySpace and all that stuff. But I never got to actually talk to her. I've always wanted to, but I always said, Amber, you're welcome to come on the show anytime. So we should maybe set that up, Chris. I think we should get that
set it up.
Yeah, definitely.
I think
I feel bad. There's a lot of people I have to get to.
Yeah, well, we'll get there.
I think Amber, like you said, she is just simply awesome, and it was fun because when I decided to actually make the Flash fan film, she was one of the few people that actually responded back to emails and answered a lot of my questions.
Oh, that's great.
And she was a big help. I know the day before our shoot, she wrote me like a long email just like detailing me like, don't forget to do this and do this. I'm going to see it when it comes out, so you better not forget to do this. So it was really great.
Now, did she send you a follow-up?
Ninetales. She'll come down with that whip.
Well, I don't know if the Flash and Catwoman get along, but maybe there will be another crossover in the future. I can hope.
Who knows?
But yeah, she saw it and she wrote back and she really liked it, so that really made me happy. So.
That's good.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Flash costume itself? I notice you have kind of like a helmet-like cowl on him.
Yeah, there's the costume itself is made out of spandex, and then the boots they were spray painted yellow once, and then right after we did that shoot, I had to do tons more layers of spray paint on them to keep them looking like yellow. Because I knew that if we ever had close-ups of the boots later on, or for anything, we'd do down those lines. There'll be big black lines on, or blue smudges, and that just wouldn't look great on close-ups. So had to.
Whoa! Oh, sorry. There's not a show without my mascots chiming in.
Maybe they want some red spandex pockets.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and then the helmet. Whoa!
They're just barking at the kids outside. I close my door.
I'm a dog person, so feel free to leave the door open.
There's 3 of the little bastards down there.
Yeah, the helmet was store-bought because we had one that was made out of cloth we were going to use, but someone actually said to me, wait a minute, if Wally was this young kid and Barry was this older person, would the costume really fit him perfectly? And I was like, We saw some of the comics where it looked like, and I don't mean to poke fun, it looked like the heads of some of the gear didn't fit right. When Wally was first introduced in some comic books, it didn't just mesh right on, and I know that his costume has evolved over time too. So we just kind of wanted to capture that phase, and then of course, luck of course makes it so the reds didn't match. That was something also in post-production we had to do and line up the reds as close as we could to make them look like one solid color and not different shades of red. So.
I actually noticed a couple things in the film. I don't know if Chris noticed these couple things, but there's one scene where at the beginning of the film, and Wally is looking at a picture of him and Barry Allen, and I believe it may be John Wesley Shipp as the Flash.
I'm clapping my hands if you can hear me. Yeah, we originally wanted to do a close-up of the photo in the
Right.
film, and we just couldn't get it to as close as we wanted. So we really tried, and I know when it was done, I posted on IMDb if anyone cared on the page of the Flash TV series. Hey, here's a little acknowledgement of this cool TV show from way back when. But
I love that show still.
Yeah, I bought the DVD.
Still watch it.
It's out on DVD. You can watch it all day. Great.
Exactly. Go get that stuff. Good stuff.
Cheap too. I know not to go off on a rant, but Walmart.com, it's like $12.
Yeah, that's what I got it for on Amazon.
Yeah, it's great.
Like 6 months ago, I think.
Yeah, and I actually, if you really care, in the photo in the film, it was actually something we did using Photoshop. I never actually have met.
Okay.
I was going to say, did you get to meet him at a con or something?
That would have been great.
It's a picture on your Facebook in which you cut off the other guy. So I went to your Facebook because I was watching the movie. I go, I seen this picture before. Oh, yeah, it's on his fucking Facebook. So I went there. It's cut off because I wanted to see who the other guy was, but it doesn't matter anyways because
Don't you love that film?
It was John Wesley Shipp's body, but it was Greg Brady's hand because I'd actually met the guy who played Greg Brady.
The Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Okay. Greg Brady as the Flash.
So that's
costume without bell bottoms on it. Which would be the same. Everybody would hear him coming here.
Yeah, we went to a Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City. It's our large comic convention. We had Amanda come out and dress up as Harley, and I went as the Flash. And you wouldn't believe the number of kids that were just lining up to take photos. And for Harley, there were some older gentlemen as well.
Oh, of course.
So, but yeah, you just create a stare everywhere you go, and it was great doing that. We loved being out and then handing out flyers, and people were really excited about it too. So, hopefully, if nothing else, they can see John Wesley Shipp in a little photo.
I actually spotted that from so far away. I said, "Is that John Wesley Shipp? It looks just like the face, the hair, and kind of." So I just wanted to kind of by chance just throw that out there. Another thing I noticed, I don't know if Chris noticed this, but the two guards, the thugs, Talia Ghul's thugs, are named Billy and Joel.
Yeah, that was our homage.
Was that on purpose?
We were originally going to have in the credits play Only the Good Die Young, but we couldn't figure out how to make that relate to Barry beyond the chorus. So we did that idea, but I love Billy Joel. So
yeah, me too.
Got to pay homage to Piano Man and everything. So
that's right.
And,
only you would get those. Well,
some people didn't. They were involved. The guy who played Billy, actually, he didn't catch that till the day of the shoot, and he had the script. And I was like, he walked in and he goes, I noticed something. And I was like, what's that? And he goes, I don't have many lines. And I was like, and then later on in the shoot he goes, hey, this is Billy and Joel. And I was like, oh yeah, that's it.
Where's my lines? I'm a star.
And maybe the next one we'll have Jackson and Michael, or Michael and George.
There you go.
How did you come up with the? I noticed you kind of used almost like a rotoscope scanner, darkly kind of rough filter on the film.
Yeah, we used. There's a feature on the camera that I used, the Canon GL2. There's a feature called Art, which it did kind of the raw look of that, and then we tweaked the colors a lot in post. We really wanted them as bright and as flashy as possible, and there were some that I wish would have turned out better. A couple of shots were kind of grainy, but the shot of Talia when she comes in, that's my favorite shot in the entire thing. And I think what I love most about it was a little story that went with it. One of the production assistants who was there, Tony Vo, a friend of mine, he was there, and before we shot that, he walked outside, and they were sitting out there like in the freezing cold, waiting to walk in, and then he went back inside. He got the girl who was playing a certain female character that is associated with Wally West. Her name is comic book fans, Linda. And
there you go. That's delving into the past there a little bit.
I wanted to hold it out and see if you guys would yell it out together, but
now class, say it with me.
But he went inside the place we were shooting in, and he said he's like, okay, they're going to come in and we're just going to run through it. It's no big deal. So he's like, they're not going to grab you or anything, so just be cool. And then she's like, okay. And so he walks on out, and he tells them, he's like, okay, really grab her, rough her up, do whatever. He's like, sell it. And so we opened the door, and she did that, and they came on in, and it really caught it because it freaked her out, and they pushed her off out of the view of the camera, and it was great because what we caught and what's in the film now is actually her honest reaction of like fear, of like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was something, and I would never have thought to do that.
It's the kind of shit they actually do in Hollywood movies.
Yeah, they do stuff like that.
Imagine that.
Trickery. So with the ending, I'm not going to give it away, but it looks like there's going to be a sequel. Are you working on that now?
We set it up that we wanted to leave it open-ended, and Amanda actually, when we decided we were going to do another project, she wrote and said possibly sequel, and some people have emailed in about it, but I don't know. Maybe we'll try and do it this summer. It just depends on if a lot of things. I mean, it's a miracle to get any kind of film, fan film, movie, whatever made. I mean, there are a million people with scripts, especially fan films written, but they just don't have the time, the budget, or simply the drive, to make it happen for whatever reason, and it's no fault of theirs. So we'll definitely try and do some more. I know that after Harley going out with Pee-wee, after Harley hanging out there's not much that we don't think she can do. So definitely, even if there's not a sequel, we'll try and do some other cool things with Harley's character, and definitely with The Flash, too, because I'm a big fan. So we'll see what happens.
Are you going to stick with fan films? I mean, are you going to be a Notarelli kind of guy, or are you just going to do some and then maybe go on?
Chris is my hero. I know a lot of people probably come on and pay him tons of respect. So I'm going to do that too. But I definitely want to make as many fan films as possible, because I know that when I sit down to write whatever kind of original story it will be, I want to have learned a lot. But also, I've seen tons of awesome short films on YouTube or Spike or MySpace TV that are great. They have great stories. They're really awesome, but they only get like 50 views. So I know that if you do fan films right, you'll get followers because they will like what you do, and you'll do the...
You've got a built-in audience for the characters, yeah.
Right, and they'll trust your content a bit more because they know what you've already put out, so it'll get more views. And I know if and when there's something really great, some great original idea that I want to do, I want it to get those kind of views. It will break my heart if like only 5 people watch it. Oh. So, but yeah, for right now, we're going to keep doing fan films. We've got the Harley and Pee-wee thing coming out. We're going to try and do Carmen Sandiego, and from after that, who knows? And then the Black Cat, too, from Marvel. So,
very cool.
We've got tons of stuff coming up, and it's weird because people write in and say, you've only got one fan film, but you keep saying all this stuff's coming out, but really...
it takes time, peoples.
It does.
But it is, baby. You gotta own your craft, man.
Yeah, do it. I promise.
But it looks like you're definitely on the right track so far.
Great. That means a lot. I just remember wearing the Flash costume when we were shooting, and this heavy mask was on, and after about 10 minutes, my face started to sweat like a racehorse, and the shots in the film turned out good, but I remember thinking, gosh, I hope this looks good, because in here it feels hot as hell. But after that happened, I was kind of sold. I knew that I wanted to definitely do more fan films, and hopefully the audience keeps growing. Hopefully people like what we do. I'd hate to think that they don't. So
no, you just, as long as you bring it to the next degree each film, build up. I don't think you have any concerns.
But
I think he's guarded enough interest to just the fact that he's done a Flash fan film.
Yeah,
which aren't many out there.
Right,
so.
Exactly. Yeah, do characters that... Should we do our godly advice, Fanboy Will?
You can do it this time.
Do characters that haven't been done.
Okay, so like Batman.
Yeah, do as many fucking Batman fan films as you can. Yeah.
That's what we got.
Fan film, Batman versus Pee-wee Herman.
I'm Batman.
I know you are, but what am I?
And when it's done, send the film to Warner Brothers. Yeah. You can start selling it.
Right. Maybe Tim Burton will...
That's what you got to do.
Tim Burton will come back to do another Batman. That's the story, hopefully.
Just make sure to write me from prison.
You know what I want to see done? Jason, do this one. Do Titans, damn it. Teen Titans.
Yeah, well, that's been a few people have been messing around with that.
That's
so
a tough one.
I'm
That's a
looking
real
forward
tough
to something. Something.
I've seen some Nightwing stuff which I really like, but
Yeah.
Titans, so yeah.
Come on, man, you got to do it.
I'm a big Kid Flash fan. I'd love to see Kid Flash. You know, like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's already the fan of the Flash and Wally West Flash.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. You'd have Robin in there. You'd have all the good Titans. You know, Wonder Girl. And
Fanboy Will and I will drive out to Kansas City, and we'll be Goon 1 and Goon 2.
I'll be a stunt guy.
Hey, one of you's going to die, so
I'll dive out of a burning helicopter.
It's okay. Will don't mind about dying.
That's right. I'm the Lazarus Man. It's all good.
I just make a film about you. There's so many great things out already, but yeah, I would love to do something that hasn't been done. I agree completely. I know there's.
Well, you definitely get kudos for doing a Flash fan film. It's great to see him in any form or fashion that isn't, comic related. Any kind of original material with the Flash is always appreciated.
Yeah, it made my heart happy when Speed Force.
Speed Force. I was going to say, yeah, they're the big website.
I wrote them just as kind of like an afterthought. I was like, well, maybe they'll care that I'm doing this. And their webmaster wrote me back a day later. He's like, oh, this is so awesome that you did this. So that made me happy.
There you go.
We got tons of views that way too. So it was definitely, really helpful to have that happen. And I dig the Flash. I mean, I check that website like once a week. So we'll see what happens. But I'm hoping to do something with the Flash and Captain Cold at some point too.
Oh, cool.
Maybe the Kid Flash can be in there too.
There you go. Cool. Well, he'll have to be Impulse, right? Who's Impulse there?
Bart Allen.
There you go.
We need a Flash family.
All right.
And yeah. I mean,
and then the old guy who's like the flower delivery man.
Oh right.
Who is he? Will, come on, you're the fanboy there.
What are you talking about?
The old Flash there.
Jay Garrick.
Yeah.
I was going to say I could play Jay Garrick. So I'm about 900 years old.
Whatever.
Hey, if you're trying to give me a cast, I will mail you a waiver.
Put a bowl on my head and slap me into that spandex. That'll be frightening. That'll be a frightening sight.
Well, it's fun because what I love the most, and I think is just the coolest thing about doing this, is like, I'm a big person. I have a lot of weird dreams, and so it's like after every shoot we do, I come home and I have some bizarre dream that's like I live this thing, and so after we did the Flash thing, I had a weird dream, and the Flash was like hanging out with me. It was really bizarre. And then after we just did the Mortal Kombat thing, I had some weird dream where I was like, Scorpion was chasing me through the forest, and I was like, oh, please don't kill me. But
get over here.
I haven't had a dream with Pee Wee Herman in it yet, though, so let's maybe keep it that way.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was. That was a lot of fun to be able to see those come to life, and then be able to just kind of roll around with the thoughts in my head later. But there was that, and then I don't know what's going to happen next, but maybe I'll have some dreams about going around the world with Carmen Sandiego. Who knows?
There you go.
There you go. And Rockapella.
Hey, yeah.
Remember that?
Everyone should go to BigSean.com. He's the guy who wrote the theme song, and he's got a website where he updates it. And the only reason I know this is because I know he does a lot of shows in New York, and I'm a big music lover, and he does a lot of shows in New York. So
I love them. They were great in that show.
Right.
No.
They sure were.
No. Everybody always talks about it. Though. Everybody's like, remember that group of those singing guys? And I'm like, hell yeah, that's Rockapella, baby. Love the Rockapella.
That was great. Whatever.
That's right. I don't know if Chris, you
totally lost me. I have no idea.
You could go on YouTube and look up like Carmen Sandiego, Rockapella. They do like songs in between like the little bits they have.
Okay.
And they're great. They're kind of like a doo-wop, I'd say, or that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're good.
We'll keep on with San Diego Dark. I was watching it's just some random guy's video where they were kind of making fun of how every comic book adaptation is going to be dark. So,
Chris says that too. It's true though.
Who says that?
You do. You're like, why does everything have to be goddamn dark?
Right. I thought you were saying the other way around. Why isn't everything dark?
Okay. Chris is the bones of our show.
Yeah.
Damn it, everybody. Why does everything have to be so damn dark?
Fuck fuck you, I am not.
We'll keep Carmen light, because how dark can she get? She wears like bright red, and she goes around the world. So we'll see. I don't think she has that tragic of a past. I don't think most of her parents were murdered, but maybe we can spin it that way. Who knows?
That would be cool. I'd like to look into that and see her in a new light. As this, maybe kind of like this mysterious kind of character, as opposed to being kind of like like a kid's type of thing, where I'm wearing a bright red jacket and then come find me, I'm hiding behind the building and where's Waldo type thing.
Right.
It'd be pretty cool to see like a different spin on that. I could see that working out.
Yeah, I know. We're going to hopefully have it done by this summer, so who knows? We'll try and maybe I'll try and get Rockefeller to fly in. Who knows?
That would be awesome. Yeah.
They perform in people's basements, whatever.
I'll look forward to it, man. Best of luck with that. I mean, it would definitely be a refreshing fan film. It'd be just something different for sure.
Yeah, we've funny because we were talking about it with Dave when we went to dinner the other night, and he was saying that he doesn't even know much about Carmen Sandiego besides the name, and he remembers the big literal floppy disk.
It was old school, original.
It was floppy.
Like 20 years ago. Or
Commodore 64.
Yeah, to date myself, those were the games that were in high school when I went to school. Yeah.
Oh, man. Blow the dust off, Chris.
I remember them too, but that was because I liked to play them.
Yeah, exactly. I still have a Nintendo NES, and I still buy games for it on eBay. Keep it old school, baby.
NES. I started with 2600 Atari.
The best game for Nintendo is Friday the 13th, which was based on the movie. The music in that movie is just so creepy. As creepy as it can be on 8-bit.
With that little meaty.
You're talking about a Carmen Sandiego video game on NES.
Well, Friday the 13th, but yeah.
No, I meant, I'm sorry, I meant Fanboy Will there.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm just going to shut up. It's always better for the show. It's always better for the show if I just be quiet.
Damn it, Chris.
And I'm really looking forward to whatever happens, and it seems like with every project, new people come about and are interested in doing stuff, so I hope that keeps happening, and I hope that people keep interest, and we'll go from there.
Well, it's good to hear, man, and thanks for taking the time to talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it. It's an honor, pleasure, whatever, and keep you posted. Early April, you guys will be seeing something cool, I promise.
There you go. Any plugs you want to do besides that, or maybe some musical stuff you're working on, maybe?
Well, I can tell you, like I said, the Mortal Kombat project's going to be out early April. It's influencefilms.com. Every day we try and do something either in my blog or on the main page there. You can see updates, or our YouTube channel. Please subscribe.
I can't. My account was canceled.
I did. I was on there. I'm on there somewhere.
Yeah, I think we're friends. But, yeah, youtube.com/influencefilm. Subscribe, and I will bake you a cookie with the flash on it, whichever incarnation you want.
Cool, flash cookies.
And beyond that, just the Mortal Kombat thing's coming out, and then Harley is going on a date with Kiwi, and the world is going to watch it. That'll hopefully be out in the middle of May. Just keep the website favorite or something, and we'll find out, but it's coming. There'll be some previews coming out soon that are funny. We had Amanda do some PSAs from Planet Comic-Con, so we'll be seeing those too.
That will be bizarre.
Looking forward to it. Definitely. It's going to be funny.
We're really excited. Thank you guys so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All right, man.
Best of luck, buddy.
Thanks.
Keep in touch.
All right, you got it.
Take care.
Bye.
Peace.